Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Vicki, otherwise known as Heartland Knits, and this is a vlog all about knitting and spinning and sewing and gardening. If that sounds like something that you're interested in and you're not already a subscriber, go on over and press the subscribe button, and that would be lovely. Thank you. Today is going to be a knitting video because it's October, otherwise known as Socktober, and for years I have been talking about how I only allow myself to knit one pair of socks a year because my sock drawer is so full I can't fit anymore. So today I'm going to take you over and show you. So come on along and just check out the sock drawer. Okay, let's open this up. Try to get it so it won't fall out. But up in the front are all hand knit socks, and then on this side these are all hand knits that kind of had to turn the corner. These are commercial socks. These are all Christmassy ones, and then these are like just other ones, because sometimes for shoes or whatever you need to wear thinner socks. These were sort of the last pair that I wore last spring. I think there must have been a cold day that didn't get put away when the rest of them did. I can talk more about those because I'll show you what my regular way of knitting socks is. But you can see I do like my stripy socks. This is how I like to fold them because I feel like I can get more in than if I sort of, you know, would do it another way. Or there's 40 some pairs in the front there. You can tell I like the stripy ones. I'm not going to go through and pull out every one, but on the side here are my sort of holiday ones. You know, Valentine's Day, say Patty's Day, candy corn ones for Halloween, and then there's these like other that are just sort of fall, and then Christmassy ones. Most of these are lollipop yarn, but there's a couple Vesper in there too. So I like to wear vanilla socks more than any, like a patterned sock. And also I like to knit them because I use them as just a little portable project that I, you know, take to work on in waiting rooms and such. And then I don't have to worry about a pattern or you know, I can just knit round and round in circles and not pay any attention. I think I even took these are the Downton Abbey pattern from, or dyed from lollipop yarn. I think I took these when I went to see the movie in the theater and knit on them. But I knit all my socks toe up because I prefer how the increases feel as opposed to when you're knitting top down and you're decreasing. And I do my increases in a specific way so that I don't get a stitch in between, and it just feels the nicest on the sides of my toes. I also knit all my socks to 10 stitches to the inch because otherwise I can feel the purl bumps. Yes, Princess and the Pea Foot. And also they last longer. And then I also do this little trick. I started doing this where I sort of graduate the ribbing. So if I spread this out, you can see here's a column of purls and there's 7 knit stitches between. And then we come up here and there's another column added in the middle. And then finally it goes to just 1 by 1 ribbing. And then I do a tubular cast off. They're all knit with afterthought heels, because then I can just knit round and round and not have to worry about measuring or anything. I have figured out how I have quite narrow heels and figured out like how I like my afterthought heel to decrease. You can, you know, change the ratio of decreases any way you want, and sometimes it takes some trial and error, but all sock knitting is sort of a journey that you go on in figuring out what exactly fits your particular foot. There are some socks in here that date back to like 2004, 2005. I think these are opal socks from way back then. I think I have a few years ago I rehealed them. I had the yarn left over and I just cut it open and rehealed it. Because for me, the heel is where I'm going to wear, and it's going to get thin and it would develop a hole. Everybody's different. Some people it's the toes or the side of the foot, the ball of the foot. For me, it's the heel. So, and that's another reason why I really love Afterthought heels, because it makes it super easy to reheal them. These are other opals that, and these are the Regia. I love the design on those. I don't like the way they feel as much as the opals. So this is a really fun set. This is all from the same fiber. These are hand spun. It was a sheep to shoe kit from Blue Moon, but you got like 8 ounces of fiber in it. And so I split it into, I think three. I think I had even more that I didn't use, but I spun them all differently, just kind of see how they wore, and just for like the fun of it. This was a 3-ply fractal. So you get it's sort of stripes, but you get these sort of long kind of repeats of color, and they're a little bit different because, and that's okay. And then these were chain plied, so you get the colors are clearer, and I'm very proud of how well matched these are. I think I must have spun these on 2 bobbins, I don't remember, and then chain plied each one, and they came out matching, so I was happy. And then these are cable plied. It's like a 2-ply over plied, and then kind of plied back on itself, so it's a 4-ply. So you still get these like stripes, but the colors are mixed up more. So yeah, so those are fun too. But it's all from the same fiber, and you can get all these different effects. And then these are, it's like, this shows like a pattern sock. I made these were what were they called? Firebird socks. And it has like the bird's head, and it comes down, and this is the tail towards the toe, and it's a beautiful design. It was by Socks Arena, and I love the design. It's this is not very elastic, and I'm not a real fan of this yarn, which she had, I think, specially made because she liked it, but it's not my favorite. I would love to knit this over again, though I just tend not to wear pattern socks. I have other ones in here, like these are a pattern. These whereas I did there was that Nancy Bush book that she had a lot of really pretty socks in it, and they were fun to knit, but I don't wear them very much because these were top down. I just don't wear them very much, and I just prefer to use my sock knitting, to fill up little stolen moments of time and, knit little round in circles. So yeah, that's my sock drawer. Yeah, it's pretty full. I do currently have 1 pair of socks on the needles. It's in my car right now, so I don't have it to show you, but it's a stripy sock that's like blue and white and black, and I just leave it in my car in case I ever need it in case of emergency, or if I'm ever going anywhere where I'm going to be in a waiting room, though that hasn't happened much in the last year and a half or so. It's in the car, so I won't forget it. I did knit 1 other pair of socks this year, but I am not keeping them. I have them here to show you. Last winter I wasn't knitting very much, but I was spinning, and I came across a bump of fiber. It was from Crown Mountain, It's a superwash merino, and they had really nice fiber. They're not in business anymore. And I thought, okay, I'm going to spin this up. I'd already started spinning it, and I had split it all up, and I'm sure I had a plan as to why it was split up the way it was, but I didn't remember what it was. So I just sort of grabbed pieces and spun them. I spun these on my Ashford Joy, and I used 3 bobbins and made a 3-ply yarn. And I thought I wanted to get it used up right away, and I thought I'm going to just knit up this pair of socks out of it. And so I started knitting, and it was really pretty. It started, the foot of the sock looks like this, and it was all these kind of pinks and whites, kind of getting stripy, and I kind of really, really liked it. And then as I went up the leg for the first sock, the colors started changing, and there were a little bit more. But, you know, there's more, but it did end up with sort of the same colors as the foot of the sock. So then I started the second one. So I'll hold this one up at the same time so that you can see what it looks like. And the second one started kind of like the leg of the sock, but has a lot more colors. And then there was even more colors as we came up the leg. So now we have 2 very, very, very different socks. So I knit these mostly when I was doing kind of Zoom calls with knitters. I'm in a couple groups of friends that are knitters that we kind of once a month we would sit in and spend some time, and I would kind of knit on these. And as I kind of got through the first one and into the second one, I saw like how different what they were. I started calling them the ugliest pair of socks ever. And there were knitting campers, and we have a raffle at knitting camp, and I was threatening to put these in the raffle because like they are just not close enough for me to deal with. And one of my knitting camper friends was like, I really like those. I like them. What? You know, I like them. I'd wear them. So I said, what size shoe are you? And she was a half size smaller than me. And I'm not really sure why. When I finished the first sock, I just started the second one. And I usually do the heel right away when I finish the first sock. So the whole thing is finished. But I didn't on this one. I didn't cut the heel in. So I could make it a little bit shorter than I would normally make it. So these are going to go off to her when I finished the second one. These are going to be heading to her, and if she doesn't want to wear them, she can find a home for them, just somebody else, or she can bring them to knitting camp for the raffle. But that is my little ode to Socktober. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and until I see you next time, from my heart to yours, happy knitting.